Hi everybody, let me continue the story of his first flight. In my last video, you learnt about the seagull and his family members. The young seagull's parents and his brothers and sister flew away, but the young seagull did not fly away along with them. Let's see the climax of the story. The sun was now ascending to the sky, blazing warmly on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Then he had found a dried piece of mackerel's tail at the far end of his ledge. Now there was not a single scrap of food left. He had searched for every inch, rooting among the rough, dirt-caked straw nest where he and his brothers and sister had been hatched. He even gnawed at the dried pieces of eggshell. It was like eating a part of himself. The sun was blazing, so it was very hot. The little seagull had been starving since the previous night, so he had to bear the heat. What had been found out by him? Yes, a dried piece of mackerel's tail. Where was it? Yes, it was in a dirt-caked straw nest where he and his brothers and sister had been hatched. He then trotted back and forth from one end of the ledge to the other, his long grey legs stepping daintily, trying to find some means of reaching his parents without having to fly. But on each side of him, the ledge ended in a sheer fall of precipice with the sea beneath. And between him and his parents, there was a deep white crack. The young seagull tried to reach his parents. What was he doing? Yes, he was trotting back and forth from one end of the ledge to the other. Trotting means running at a moderate speed. And between him and his parents, there was a deep white crack. Surely he could reach them without flying if he could only move northwards along the cliff face. But then, on what could he walk? There was no ledge, and he was not a fly. And above him, he could see nothing. The precipice was sheer, and the top of it was perhaps farther away than the sea beneath him. Could he reach his parents? No. Why? Because there was nothing to walk on. There was a deep white crack. It only separated him from his parents. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. Here, what had happened was that the seagull stepped out to the brink of the ledge. What did he do? He pretended to be asleep. Did they take notice of him? No, they didn't take notice of him. What were his two brothers and his sister doing? They were dozing on the plateau. What was his father doing? Yes, his father was preening the feathers on his white back. What was his mother doing? His mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. He uttered a low cackle. His mother cackled too and looked at him. Where was his mother standing? His mother was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. What was she tearing? Yes, she was tearing at a piece of fish. The young seagull also wanted to tear it like that. As he was very hungry, the sight of the food maddened him. So he uttered a low cackle. His mother also cackled. Gah, he cried, begging her to bring him over some food. Gah, she screamed back mockingly, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, abreast of the ledge, she halted, her legs hanging limp, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. The young seagull kept calling sadly. He uttered a joyful scream. Why did the young seagull utter a joyful scream? Because his mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him. Did his mother offer him the piece of fish? No, his mother did not offer him the piece of fish. He waited for a moment in surprise, wondering why she didn't come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. His mother had swooped upwards. As he passed beneath her, he heard the swish of her wings. What did his mother do? His mother swooped upwards. Swooped means moved very quickly and easily through the air. What did the young seagull do? The young seagull screamed and fell outwards and downwards into the space. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a moment. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. He uttered a joyous scream and flapped them again. He soared higher. He raised his breast and banged against the wind. Gah! Gah! His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commenced to dive and soar, shrieking shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight at last. Like I said, you should be very bold and brave. Thank you all for watching a wonderful, magnificent story about a young seagull.